Good morning, Thebes. We come to you today with the tragic news of today's events. In the early morning hours, our previous leader, Creon, decided to banish himself from the kingdom of Thebes. The genesis of this decision originated from the events of the previous day. Now, to delve further into this situation is our reporter on site, Hailey, who caught up with our previous leader himself before he furthers into his travels.
Thanks, Hannah. I'm standing here with Creon, our previously departed leader, here to talk about the events that happened prior to this week. Creon, tell us more about your decision on leaving Thebes.
Initially, I had no intentions on leaving my position as king of Thebes. After the events of the previous day with the loss of my wife and son, Eurydice and Haman, I felt
What events led up to this occurrence of these tragic circumstances?
After putting Antigone in the live tomb for burying her brother, the prophet Tiresias told me that these horrific events would occur if anything were to happen to Antigone. However, I did not heed his warnings.
Can you tell us a little more about what happened before you sent Antigone away?
Yes, after Odysseus died, his son Edicles became the ruler of Thebes, and Polynices was upset by this rule. He was angered by his brother and decided to attack the kingdom of Thebes, resulting in both their deaths. In the aftermath, I buried Edicles with the highest honors and ruled that Polynices could not be buried. Antigone went against my proclamation and put her brother to rest. She was originally sentenced to death, but later, after talking to my son about the situation, I changed my mind.
Later that day, you found your niece had hung herself in her tomb, correct?
Yes, I was alerted of this occurrence and rushed down immediately to find my son weeping over her dead body.
What happened next?
My son then, in his anger, tried to take an attempt on my life. When not succeeding, he took his own and fled my niece.
Successful attempt on his life, how did your wife take the news?
After hearing the horrible news, my wife was frozen in disbelief. She then proceeded to another room where she inevitably took her life. As you can imagine, with my family dead and me being looked down upon by my kingdom, I had no other reason to stay and felt as if I had to go.
So in hindsight, what would you say would be the biggest issue that forced you to leave?
Definitely my bullheadedness and arrogance was what led to this situation.
If you could go back in time and change one thing, what would it be and why?
If I could change anything, I would have listened to Tiresias and let Antigone go instead of keeping her trapped in her tomb. None of these things would have happened if I wasn't so stubborn. I take full responsibility for all these events and put all the blood.
What exactly did Tiresias ask you to do after you put Antigone in her tomb?
He told me that if I did not let her free and bury Polynices, then the blood of my family would be shed.
Is there anything you would like to say to the people of Thebes before you're gone for good?
I would just like to say I'm sorry for being a bullheaded leader. You should have better than me, and none of these events should happen.
Thank you for your time, Creon. You heard it here first, our one-on-one with Creon. Now back to you, Hannah, in the station.
Creon has admitted to his tragic flaw of being too arrogant and knows that is the one reason for his family's demise and leading to his departure. His failure to listen to Tiresias' proclamation to set Antigone free is one of the most prominent regrets. He has accepted the events and realized these further occurrences were caused by him. Further information will be provided as the story develops. With Thebes' #1 news channel, I'm Hannah. Thank you for tuning in.